Hi, and welcome to this weekday word. One of the psalms appointed in the daily office is Psalm 63, which begins saying this: O God, you are my God, early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh also longs after you in a barren and dry land where there is no water. Thus I have looked upon you in your holy place, that I might behold your power and glory. For your loving kindness is better than life itself. My lips shall praise you. Your loving kindness is better than life itself. My soul and my flesh long after you. This is clearly the language of someone who loves God and longs for God. And I think in some ways we hear language like that your loving kindness is better than life itself. Your loving kindness, your faithful covenant love makes life worth living. It's better than anything this world can offer. And we feel called up short. I don't know about you, but I don't always feel like my flesh and soul cry out and long for the living God. I don't know that I always feel like God's loving kindness is better than life itself. I know I should, but sometimes I don't always feel that way. And it leads to the question, how do you get there? I think we hear the answer that tucked into these verses where the psalmist says, Thus I have looked upon you in your holy place, that I might behold your power and glory. The psalmist has been in worship. The psalmist has been in the place of worship. We're talking here about the temple. But the temple was not just a beautiful building, it was the place where God's presence could be found. And to come into God's presence, there's only one right way to respond, and that is worship. So to be in worship is not just to do certain things. To be in worship is an attitude of the heart that is responding to God's presence and God's faithful covenant love. You see, the more time we spend in worship of God, in awe of who He is, reminding ourselves of who He is, the more it leads to our own love of Him. And so the question then shifts to, how do I cultivate this kind of awareness of God's presence? Brother Lawrence, so many years ago, wrote a little devotional classic. It was Practicing the Presence of God. And the idea is that you practice that presence. It's not something that we come by naturally. I think our natural inclination is really to live the absence of God, wondering where He is. But what Brother Lawrence said is that you can actually practice the presence of God by rehearsing in your mind over and over and over and over the reality that even when we cannot see Him, even when we cannot feel Him, God is here. God is everywhere. We're always in His presence. And so we practice that presence. We rehearse that presence until it sinks into our bones and actually becomes something that we know in the core of our being. That even when we cannot see or feel or hear Him, He is with us, because that's who He is and what He promises. And the more then we practice His presence, the more we become aware of His presence. And the more we become aware of His presence, the more we live in the light of His glory and beauty and might and majesty and love. And so the more we cultivate that kind of soul that longs for Him, knowing that His loving kindness is better than anything else, better than life itself. I pray, friends, that today you can practice that presence in a way that allows you to know and maybe even feel that He is always with you. Be blessed this day, and I look forward to seeing you soon.